How about that ending in Boulder? Wild. Shedeur Sanders throws a Hail Mary after one gets dropped on the previous play that hits him in the chest. Sanders rolls left and throws it, and Wester is there in the end zone in the rain, slips down, and still makes the catch. I mean, that's incredible. Like, you guys can all sit here and say, and I see some of the comments like, oh, who cares about Colorado? Hey, man, whoever did this, I don't care if it was Jones Junior High or Syracuse or whomever, I'd be showing this play. Like, tying the ball game up like that with a Hail Mary was phenomenal. CU now has, by the way, and I do know this, 3 legit, like, Hail Mary, win it, tie it at the end of the game. Obviously, the Miracle in Michigan is the most famous. You would probably not remember this one, but we were tied with Kansas State in 2004, and I threw a touchdown pass with no time remaining. It was a 60-yard touchdown pass, and so we win the game and dogpile into the end zone. And now Shedeur ties a game against Baylor here in 2024. So we got the 4s. We got 94, we got 2004, and we got 2024 here for the University of Colorado. This is a big win for them. It really is, because now they're 3-1. They're 1-0 in the Big 12, and it proves to them that they can win these close games. That was a huge question mark coming into this season. And the way that they played against even North Dakota State, I was questioning whether they could win some of those games. They get beat badly by Nebraska, and now they have played much better since. I think the defense has become or developed into a defense that can be relied upon at times, and in particular in the second half. If you look at what their defense has done in the second half of every game, they have not allowed more than 7 points in any second half yet this year. So the defense is much more real than they were a year ago. They still give up the 8 sacks, and yes, it's still a combination of poor play by their offensive line and Shedeur holding the football. Shedeur Sanders has got to throw the football quicker. He holds it way too long. You just can't do that. You just cannot do that. But this is a game that is going to be huge for them, because I said regardless of who won this game, whether it was Baylor or Colorado, they were going to be able to put themselves in a position to compete with the top tier in the conference. They're going to have that chance this week, by the way. They travel to Orlando. They're going to face UCF. That game is on Fox. And in fact, Big Noon Kickoff is going to be in Florida at UCF for that game, while Gus and Jenny and I will be in Michigan for Michigan, Minnesota for Big Noon Saturday at noon Eastern in the Big House. That's just the scheduling note for this week. And then at the end, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Travis Hunter. My gosh. I mean, my gosh, guys. This kid, he's unbelievable. 7 catches, 130 yards. 4th straight 100-yard game. 4th straight. He's playing 133 snaps per game through 4 games. By the way, the next closest in terms of player playing the most amount of snaps in college football is 87 snaps. That's 46 snaps per game different. That's incredible. He has now played in this season, and it's a young season, 532 snaps of football. That's 169 more snaps than anyone in the country. And the guy who's second behind him, 169 snaps behind him, has played 1 more game than the Colorado Buffaloes. That's wild. So he's done all of that. He's doing all that. Oh, hey, by the way, he still has a pick, and he forced the fumble to win the game in overtime against Baylor. They say like, he's not a great tackler. He got right in there and he stuck that right shoulder directly on that ball. He causes the fumble. It rolls out of the back of the end zone. Colorado wins. Bam, walk-off right there. I mean, tell me he's not in the conversation for the Heisman Trophy. And to me, he's got to be the one that you start with, because no one's doing anything remotely close to this. It's like the conversation for National League MVP or American League MVP when Ohtani was in the American League. It's the same conversation with Ohtani when he's pitching. It's like when he's pitching and he's an elite pitcher and an elite hitter, there's no debate. Well, now we're seeing a player that is an elite wide receiver, one of the best in the country, and an elite defender, one of the best in the country. He could legitimately win the Thorpe Award and the Biletnikoff. Wild. want to appreciate watching him. And it's not just because of the uniform he plays. Regardless of uniform, this guy is phenomenal. Now, what did happen at the end was a field storm. And there's a lot of opinions about storming the field rolling around social media about Colorado and this or that. And before I give my opinion, let's hear from Primetime.
I want to apologize to the opposition, the way we stormed the field, and I didn't get an opportunity to go and shake the head coach's hand, but I did try to go over to the locker room and wait it out until he came out, but I don't think they got the word to him because that's not professional. I wanted to shake his hand and acknowledge, but I don't like what transpired at the end of the game, but I love what transpired at the end of the game. We have a fan base that's phenomenal. We have some young kids on this campus that loves and breathes CU football, and I'm thankful.
I totally agree with him. In general, I feel like you should only storm the field for giant moments. I feel like you should only storm the field for spectacular moments. But guess what? That was one of them. They just tied the game with a Hail Mary and then forced a fumble to win in overtime. Like, what do you want them to do? That's what makes football and college football more specifically so amazing. Now, if you just win a run-of-the-mill game, like, yeah, like, do we really need to storm the field? But my goodness, are we really too good for college kids running onto the football field? I mean, if you have a problem with that, with the way that the game went and ended, I think the problem is you. Thank you for watching the Joel Klatt Show YouTube channel. And if you liked this clip, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. And you can stay up to date on all of my college football coverage.